If your team runs cloud workloads, AI services, developer pipelines, or internet-facing infrastructure, today's security question is simple. Which patch changes your blast radius first? This is Daily Tech Hack Global for August 13, 2026. The facts in this briefing come from NBD, CISA when reachable, and linked vendor advisories. I will keep the discussion defensive, no exploit commands, no payloads, and no step-by-step attack chains. The lead item is CVE-2026-73519. NVD describes it as, Wolf Stack before 25.9.2 contains a hard-coded cluster authentication secret compiled into every build and published as a constant in src/auth/mod.rs, allowing remote unauthenticated attackers to bypass authentication by supplying this value in the Wolf Stack secret header to the require_auth gate without any session, API key, or user account. Attackers can reach an affected node's management port to enumerate all Docker and LXC containers on the host and execute arbitrary commands as root inside any container 6. The recorded severity is critical with CVSS 9.8. Why it matters: runtimes and orchestration nodes sit underneath AI services, CI jobs, and production workloads, so identity and image trust can become blast radius multipliers. The second item is CVE-2026-73032. NVD summarizes it as, Papers GPT for Zotero 0.6.1 contains a remote code execution vulnerability that allows attackers to execute arbitrary JavaScript by returning malicious code from an LLM endpoint that is passed unsanitized to window.eval, in views.ts. Attackers can exploit this through prompt injection in PDFs, MITM interception of API requests, or a malicious custom LLM endpoint to execute arbitrary code in Zotero's Chrome privileged context, enabling file read/write. Prop severity is critical with CVSS 9.6. The operational takeaway is to map this advisory to exposed systems, service credentials, and any automation that can turn a small weakness into a larger incident. Item 3 is CVE 2026-73034. DBGPT version 0.8.1 contains an unauthenticated path traversal vulnerability that allows remote attackers to write arbitrary files to any location on the server by injecting directory traversal sequences into the user_ID HTTP header of the Python file upload endpoint. Attackers can send a crafted multi-part upload request with a traversal poisoned user_ID header to escape the intended upload directory and write AttackerCon. Severity, critical, CVSS 9.8. Defensive context: agent tools often forward credentials or call internal APIs, so path scope, least privilege, and audit logs matter as much as model behavior. Item 4 is CVE 2026-71471. A flaw was found in ACM Search v2 rel 9. An attacker with administrative privileges on the hub cluster, specifically with patch access to the Search Custom Resource, CR, could exploit a vulnerability in the collector.image override field. This allows the attacker to deploy an arbitrary container image across all managed clusters. The consequence is remote code execution, RCE, enabling the attacker to execute comma. Severity, critical, CVSS 9.0. Defensive context: runtimes and orchestration nodes sit underneath AI services, CI jobs, and production workloads, so identity and image trust can become blast radius multipliers. Here is the defender checklist. First, identify whether any affected product is internet-facing, reachable from CI systems, or reachable by AI agents and automation. Second, patch according to the vendor advisory, not just the headline score. Third, review service accounts, API keys, pod identities, OAuth apps, and tool credentials that could be reused if the affected system was compromised. Fourth, add monitoring around unusual admin actions, image pulls, tool calls, authentication failures, and outbound network requests. Fifth, document what was patched and what was deferred so tomorrow's team can audit the risk instead of rediscovering it. The larger lesson is that AI security is not only prompt security. It is the security of runtimes, cloud services, tool connectors, identity boundaries, and the operational process that decides what gets patched first. Patch what is exposed, reduce what is privileged, rotate what may have leaked, and make automation prove what it is allowed to touch.